Hey everyone, welcome back to your AML channel. So we've all worked in a department, right? But have you ever really stopped to think that your department has a life of its own? Today we're digging into that hidden life cycle, and trust me, understanding it is absolutely critical for survival. I mean, it's a wild question, isn't it? Can a department actually die? We tend to see them as these permanent boxes on an ORC chart. But what if they're not? What if, just like a product, they can become totally irrelevant and just disappear? So here's the big idea. Departments aren't built to last forever. A department, such as compliance, doesn't typically become obsolete in the same way a product does, but it can lose relevance, efficiency, or effectiveness if it fails to adapt to changing internal or external conditions. They are born to solve a very specific problem. They grow, they mature, but, and this is the important part, if they stop adapting, they start to decline. And that's not just a risk to the department, it's a risk to the whole company. So how does this actually play out? Let's map it. We're about to walk through the 4 classic stages that can take a department from a brilliant, fresh idea all the way to a bureaucratic roadblock. And here we have it. The classic life cycle curve. It all starts with inception, shoots up through growth, hits its peak at maturity, and then, if you're not paying attention, it starts that slow slide into decline. Let's break down exactly what each of these stages looks like. Every department begins with a spark, a really specific urgent need. Just think about all the data privacy teams that popped up right after huge regulation like GDPR when it came out. In this inception stage, the team is small, they're scrappy, and their entire job is basically creating some foundational processes and most importantly, prove their value to everyone else. The signs of inception. New policies and procedures are being drafted. The department is hiring foundational staff or training employees. There's a focus on understanding the regulatory landscape and aligning with company goals. The challenges: limited resources, lack of organizational buy-in, and unclear scope. Okay, so once they've proven they're essential, the department kicks into the growth stage. This is when things get exciting. The budget is getting bigger. Signs of growth: increased budget and headcount, development of specialized roles such as data privacy officers and anti-money laundering specialists, and implementation of training programs and regular audits. The challenges: balancing growth with efficiency, avoiding overreach, and maintaining alignment with business objectives. You're hiring new people with super specialized skills. You start investing in real technology and become a much more critical integrated part of the business. Next up is the maturity stage. This is the on-point spot, right? The department is a well-oiled machine. It's handling risks actively. It's actually helping shape company strategy. But here's the thing. This is exactly where the danger creeps in because success can lead to complacency. The signs of maturity: streamlined workflows and automated compliance tools, regular reporting to leadership and regulators with minimal issues, and high employee compliance awareness and low violation rates. The challenges: risk of complacency, resistance to change, bureaucratic inefficiencies, and complacency. Well, that's the first step on the road to the decline stage. So the big question is, how do you know when you're starting to slide from that peak? How do you spot the shift from maturity into stagnation? The signs of decline: outdated policies that don't reflect new laws or industry standards, increased regulatory fines or audit findings due to oversight, low engagement with other departments leading to siloed operations, resistance to adopting new technologies such as AI for compliance monitoring, and high turnover or low morale among compliance staff. The causes of decline: failure to keep pace with regulatory changes such as new data privacy laws, lack of investment in training or technology, overemphasis on reactive rather than proactive strategies, and misalignment with the company's evolving goals, such as expansion into new markets with different regulations. Let's get into the warning signs that your department might be in trouble. It really boils down to one thing: mindset. A department is in its prime when it's proactive and active. That's when it becomes a strategic partner. But a declining one is just reactive. It's all about checking boxes. It starts resisting new technology and becomes its silo that frankly other teams just start to work around. You may ask, what does this actually look like on a day-to-day basis? Here are the red flags. You've got outdated policies. You're seeing more fines or failed audits. There's a serious resistance to adopting new tools like AI. Your best people start quitting, and other departments, they stop calling you. Be honest, do any of these sound a little too familiar? Here's the good news. Decline is not a death sentence. Not at all. It's a signal. It's a massive wake-up call that it's time to reinvent. So let's dive into the playbook for how to pull off that turnaround. And let's be super clear about the goal here. This is not just about keeping the lights on. It's about a fundamental transformation evolving from being seen as a cost center into a true strategic asset for the business. This is your roadmap. The 7 Reinvention Playbook. Step 1. Where are the real gaps? Conduct a comprehensive review of existing processes, tools, and skills. Benchmark against industry best practices and competitors. Engage with stakeholders such as legal, IT, and leadership to identify misalignments or unmet needs. Step 2. You must align your department's goals with the company's biggest priorities. If you're not helping the businesses win, you're irrelevant. Shift from a purely regulatory focus to a strategic one, supporting business objectives like market expansion or product launches. Third, you've got to invest in tech and skills for what's coming next, not for what worked last year. Adopt modern tools like compliance management platforms, AI for risk detection, or blockchain for audit trails. Upskill staff through training in emerging areas such as cybersecurity compliance and ESG regulations. Number 4 is about breaking down walls and becoming a true partner. Build partnerships with IT, HR, and operations to embed compliance into daily workflows. Number 5 is that crucial mindset shift from reactive firefighting to proactive strategy. Move from reactive box checking to anticipating risks, such as horizon scanning for upcoming regulations. 6 is when you have to measure and shout about your value. Use metrics such as reduced fines and faster audit cycles to demonstrate the department's impact to leadership. Number 7, don't be afraid to restructure the whole team if that's what it takes. Reorganize the team to focus on high impact areas such as creating a dedicated data privacy unit. Let's make this real. Imagine a financial compliance team that's deep in decline. Their processes are all manual. They have no idea what's happening in fintech, and everybody else sees them as a bureaucratic nightmare. Now fast forward to after their reinvention. They're using AI for monitoring, they've hired specialists in crypto regulation, and they've been transformed into proactive risk advisors. They're not a roadblock anymore, they're partners. So you see, this whole life cycle thing is not some destiny that's written in stone. It's a diagnostic tool. Understanding where your department sits on this curve right now is the first most important step to writing its next chapter. I'm going to leave you at this. Take a hard, honest look around. What stage is your department in? And maybe more importantly, what is the one single step you can take this week to make sure it doesn't just survive, but actually thrives? This is food for thought and action, my friends. Thank you for joining us today. If you haven't done so, what are you waiting to subscribe? Share this video, like, and comment. We'd love to hear from you. Until the next video, see you then.